Hello, I'm Gary Lyon and welcome to the 2014 wash-up for the Gold Coast Suns. Damo, it looked like at one stage they were going to crack it for their first final series, but it all came crashing down.
It did. I'd penciled them in at that stage of the season, Gaz, round 16, when the infamous Gary Ablett game, which you're going to touch on straight away. But that was when I thought they had come of age as a footy club, but they hadn't. And in the end, it was a disappointing season.
Highlight of the year for me, the Gold Coast Suns, that round 16 win against Collingwood. I mean, it was Collingwood were going okay at this stage. Gary Ablett had gone off. Day needed to kick this goal to seal the match, or certainly put them in front.
Yep.
Collingwood had opportunities late in the game, but without Ablett, it was Swallow who was magnificent. O'Meara was great. I think Prestia's season was still rolling along beautifully. And I thought as the boys celebrated this win, well, that's the making of this footy club. They've done it without their number one man, Gary Ablett. The belief they gained from that win will set them on their way and they'll play finals footy. It was a really, I thought, a massive moment for them.
It actually worked against them in the end, didn't it?
Don't shoot me down just yet, Damo.
No, I was with you on that. I thought they had arrived. Tom Lynch is the one I'm making my highlight for 2014, Gaz. Drops this mark quite badly, but look at the skill to recover from it quickly. And look, for a big man, Gaz, I really liked how he stood up for pretty much most of the year. Can take a really big pack mark. Just looks at home now, I reckon. Yeah. He's just been in the system long enough now. And look, if the improvement next year is as it was this year, we're going to be talking about him in very lofty terms. Well,
there's an argument right now that says of all those big key forwards the two expansion clubs got, that he could be number one. And that includes Jeremy Cameron. I know who out of sight, out of mind this year because of injury and form, but gee, he has got more impressive as the season rolled along. He is an absolute jet, is Tommy Lynch. Which brings us to the low light, and it coincides with what I mentioned earlier. At round 16, they won against the odds. Their fallout from that point was dramatic, and I think it hurts the team, it hurts Guy McKenna even, and 1 win, 6 losses in their last 7 games without Gary Ablett, and they took a slight step backwards, I think, and that's the low light for me.
Mine, Gaz, was the Carmichael Hunt experiment finally coming to an end. It should never have been embarked upon.
Every year.
I do, but I won't have to after this particular wash-up for the Suns, because the 5 years, it didn't work. It should never have been pursued. 1 game this year.
Gave them a presence in a tough market early on in the piece, Damo. Let's never forget that.
Well, that presence is now taking his wares to another rugby,
one of the great
another football code.
Gary, the rugby major codes, kicked a goal after the siren to win a match for them,
and ripped about $7.5 million out of the competition. And Christmas bonus time, Gaz. Who gets it for the Suns?
Carmichael Hunt. No, I'm giving it to Jack Martin.
Jack Martin?
Yes.
He played 1 game. It became in round 23.
He did not play 1 game. But sometimes, Damo, with your Christmas bonus, you've got to give someone encouragement to come back. And I think this man needs it. His game recently, the last game of the year against West Coast, was exciting. He did his shoulder in the first game. To come back from that, Damo, and rehabilitate and play some really exciting footy. It's not a big fat bonus, but it's a nice little one for Jack.
Raps are still huge, aren't they, despite the injuries he had this year. Stephen May gets it for me, Gaz. Started the year with a broken jaw, courtesy of a teammate who punched him in LA. And look, what he did in the first, I'll go with first 15 weeks maybe first 16 weeks, it was really good. He certainly tapered off, I'll give you that. But he did enough early, Gary, to get the Christmas bonus.
Chris, how big a bonus?
Bit like Jack Martin's, not a huge amount, but I thought he's very good though. And look, there's a player of the future there, isn't there? And once he gets a bit older, he's going to put together a full 22 weeks.
All right, that's an interesting one, Damo.
Who's on the chopping block?
Let's go to the chopping block for me. Daniel Goren, the only man in the world with a name that rhymes with orange. He was one of the original players they took. Goren, he was a highly rated ruckman from South Australia. Hasn't been able to consolidate. Was given plenty of opportunity this year when there are injuries to other ruckmen. So I think he'll be trade bait. I think there'll be others who will take a risk on him. He's certainly developed as a player physically.
Has he?
And he's got a lot of talent. If he gets a good run at it, he might be okay. But I think he could be superfluous to the needs of Gold Coast.
Okay, they put him up last year and the year before, and no one really bit. But
he had a bit more of a look at him this year because of injuries to Zach Smith and others. So I think he's available. What about you?
Well, I've got the coach, Guy McKenna. Goes, he needs to make finals next year if he's not to actually get the chop. So he knows that. Bad finish to 2014. He's under as much pressure as anyone at that footy club, and deservedly so, and rightly so.
All right, well, I can follow on. What do the team need to do to improve? I think finals is an absolute minimum next season. I mean, I didn't pick them to play finals footy this year. It looked like they were going to, but I think if the development curve needs to continue on the path that we expect it to, that is a bare minimum finals footy for the Gold Coast Suns.
Okay, I reckon they need to get a little bit creative at the trade period, guys. Give up their first pick. They've got enough kids. They've stockpiled them from the year before they've joined the competition. Let's let's just now try and get someone in.
What sort?
I'd be looking at a midfielder to help Gaz out. Look, they've got a nice bunch of midfielders, but they need another high-end one, and that's what I'd be doing if I was
So you're going to bundle up maybe a Goren and maybe a pick and try and grab someone ready.
Certainly the pick. Right. The first pick, which is going to come nice and low in the draft. Yeah, get rid of it and get a player in.
All right, let's go to the predictor, Damo. This is what we wait for. Which way do you see the Gold Coast boys going?
Well, I'm not as lofty in my expectations of this club. I've got them going down. Only slightly, but I've got them going down.
Look at that.
It's just down a couple of rungs. But
that's ridiculous.
Just down a couple of rungs. Where have you got them?
Natural improvement of these kids will see them going up, Damo. They are finished 12th this year. I expect them probably to play finals.
You've got 18 teams making the finals at this
stage.
Every club's gone up.
Don't worry about my predictions, Damo. We will revisit them. Gold Coast will go up. You've got them going down from 12th.
I'm going to have to ring Gill. You've got an 18-team final system.
You've got them going down
Every
from
club's
12th.
gone up in the wash-up.
It's ridiculous. And Stephen, mate. Yeah, thanks, Damo. Very much. That's the wash-up for the Suns in season 2014.